You're listening to episode 88 of the Let's Go Comics Show. My name is Justin.
And I'm Matt.
We are here. We are together.
Here we are.
In the same room.
Once again.
Yeah.
Here we are.
Yeah. Is that an actual song?
Yeah. I was listening to late 90s alt rock earlier today. And that was
Who's that?
Specific subset. It was a band called Bleach.
Bleach.
Back in the day.
I don't even know Bleach.
That's okay, man. Not many people do.
I was
it's
like,
fine.
Cool
So
story.
all that 90s,
Wow.
90s alt rock.
Thanks.
We've moved on from second wave Superman to
Second Wave Superman to
random
alt rock from the 90s. Like, there's this band, and you only hear one song by them, but they're called Local H, and it's a bow 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 down down down, and it's just like one guy playing like the drums and some dude who's got like a guitar with like bass strings on it or something.
Dude, Kelly from the Let's Go show,
Hey, Kelly.
Let's Go podcast, he and I were listening to
We
stuff
hang
back
out.
and forth. We hang out, we're
Yeah,
friends.
sometimes.
But he played me a band called Size 14, which is random. Like, dude, he knows all the deep cuts.
Yeah.
But I was like, man, this is the most 90s of all sounds and references, because the first song he played for me talked about like drinking a beer, going to your room and sitting in front of and staring at your Claire Danes poster.
Oh my gosh.
And I was like, whoa.
Was their Size 14 is their name?
Yeah. I had never heard of them, dude, but another song they had was Super Babe 2000.
Yes.
It's just...
I'm there.
Thank you, the 90s.
Super Babe 2000. Sounds like a Nickelodeon like superhero TV
I was going
show.
to say, coming soon, the new age of superheroes.
Super Babe
Super
2000.
Babe 2000.
Starring Melissa Joan Hart
Dark Knight's Metal 2. Superman 2000.
and Dwayne Johnson. Oh man. All right, cool. So this is Let's Go Comic Show, where we talk about comics, comic movies, comic TV shows, everything in the world of comics, and sometimes 90s alt rock.
Yeah, why not?
Why not? And then we rate these things based on our rating system. Matt, what is our rating system?
At the top is a let's go. Nope.
Okay.
At the top is a gotta go.
There you go.
Below that is a let's go.
Mm-hmm.
Below that is a gotta go.
There you go.
Down at the bottom of that is don't go.
Mm-hmm.
And way down,
Way down
hanging out with the Toxic Avenger
with the
is
toxic
trash
Avenger.
juice.
There you go. So today we're going to get into a couple things, some little pieces of some snippets here and there. We've got some snippets. Again,
You've got snippets.
kind of a slow news, but also like bunch of news.
A couple of pretty big ones, though.
Yeah,
I
a couple
think.
of pretty big ones, and it's kind of just some of them are just kind of rumblings. Like, so we're gonna jump into that stuff right now. So okay, the biggest news. Let's just jump into the biggest news.
Let's do it.
The biggest news was, I think, did it come out today? The Sci-Fi Wire has this exclusive on the Batman Ninja Turtles animated movie. It's coming out in like probably a few months. It just says late spring.
Yeah,
could be
I saw
May.
that. Is that included as like the DC animated universe?
Hope so. That way, it seems like that's what they're doing. They're putting it out, digitally first, and then as soon as it hits the street, where you can just buy it in alleys out of the back of cars, then it appears on the app. So, all right. So they released some of the images. It doesn't look like any kind of like version of these characters that we've seen before. I will tell you this: it looks better than the new freaking cartoon that's on Cartoon Network.
Oh, really? Well, it's Nickelodeon proproperty.
Nickelodeon, yeah,
Shows.
Nickelodeon
So, I mean,
it owns it. So this is a Nickelodeon, Warner Brothers animation joint thing that they're doing. But the turtles, they look cool.
they look good. Batman's chin looks very prominent.
Yeah, he's like, I got a chin. So it looks like the Batgirl of Burnside, and it looks like a Damian Wayne-ish Robin, and then Batman looks like a classic.
He looks
version
like
of Batman.
Have you seen those like straight to video movies the last couple years, like Batman
Yeah, he looks I think he looks
Ultimate
better than
or
that.
Unlimited or something like that?
That one has a chin strap.
Oh, that's true. But I mean, it seems like a similar design.
Yeah,
He's got the shield though, dude. That should make you happy, right?
yeah, dude. I love seeing the yellow bat symbol.
And we got Troy Baker, who has done Batman voice before.
Yeah, okay, so that's what's cool about this is he's doing Joker and Batman, which is the first time anyone's done that. So that's fun. So they've got a really funny picture of him in a sound booth acting. They're like, all right, look like you're acting. His hands out, like, I'm Batman.
I'm very serious about this.
Yeah. So he did Batman's voice in Arkham Origins, the kind of the prequel one.
This looks pretty cool, man. I hope it's fun.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be fun. I mean, if you can put Ninja Turtles with Batman, that's gotta be fun. This is already my kid's favorite movie, and he has not even watched it yet.
It's true. My kids don't even know this is happening yet. So they're gonna dig it.
I don't know who some of these voice actors are.
I don't either. So
Kyle Mooney, I know who that is, so from SNL, and so I mean, it says he's from SNL, but I'm like, oh, but I know who that is. And then we got Tara Strong as Harley Quinn and Poison Ivy, and then you got Carlos Alazraqui from Reno 911 as Bane.
Nice.
Rachel
I do
Goul's
see
in this.
John DiMaggio as Mr. Freeze. So that should be interesting.
He's all outrageous. It's frozen.
Outrageous and cool.
It's cool. Yeah, there's a lot of bad guys in this movie. So we got Penguin, we got Freeze, we got Harley, Ivy, we got Bane, and Ra's al Ghul. So there you go.
Yes.
No Shredder, dude. No Baxter Stockman. No Krang.
No way, dude.
It's all
We're
Batman.
sticking to Batman.
Well, if this does well, I'm sure then the next one will be Ninja Turtles.
He'll come over into their hood.
Batman. Yeah, he'll be
Batman in New York.
like, I'm in the sewers.
Eating pizza.
Yeah. They're all, come on, Batman, let's eat pizza. Yeah, I wonder how cowabunga they're going to be. Like, is it going to be like the archetype of turtles?
I hope they're very cowabunga.
Dude, I like the designs of the turtles. They look very, like, Raph looks like he's got a Frank Miller just
He does, yeah.
like upset face.
The rest of the characters, like the Damien, like Robin and Batgirl and Donatello and Michelangelo, look like they're drawn by the guys that do How It Should Have Ended.
That's funny.
That's what it looks like to me. Or I'm like, just
I'm
crossover.
Batman.
These guys are like, because I'm Batman.
That Batman is becoming a version of Batman that people know. You know?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Like it's
And that version of Superman as well.
I know. That Superman's great.
It's pretty great.
He's so laid back. Anyways,
How
that
It
looks
Should Have
fun.
Ended is good. Batman, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Heck
Hopefully
yeah.
it's good.
What else could Batman team up with?
Scooby Doo. I mean,
See,
obviously.
Well, he did already.
No, I know.
The Batman, the Brave and the Bold. At first, I thought that's what this is going to be because you just glanced at it and it's like it's blue and gray, it's Brave and the Bold, but it's not. So that might
its
have
own
been
thing.
cool. Brave and the Bold meets Ninja Turtles.
Yeah.
What if just Brave and the Bold Batman meets this Batman?
What if Brave and the Bold Batman meets Teen Titans Go?
That'd be fun.
That'd be a fun crossover.
Yeah, why not? Teen Titans Go. So good. All right, so there you go. That's some actual news.
Yeah, another more actual animation news
More actual
that I did not think was actual news when I read it. I was like, "There's no way that's real."
Well, this is fake.
Hulu
Yeah.
is getting into the adult animation game, which sounds a little more
Yeah,
sketch than I really meant it for.
Super sketchy.
That's super sketchy. Oh man! But we have a Howard the Duck animated series
Heck yeah, dude.
by Kevin Smith.
Yeah. Yeah, he's been kind of hinting at like a top secret project. Like the guy can't keep his mouth shut, dude. He's always like, "Oh, I'm working on something. I can't say what it is." And so
It's kind of interesting. They announced, is it 4? I want to say 4 different shows.
yeah, there's the MODOK.
Which Patton Oswalt is involved in.
Yeah, that's
So
kinda
that's
fun.
cool. We have
Hit Monkey, which I got no idea what.
no idea.
Is.
But Tigra and Dazzler with Chelsea Handler.
Ugh.
So I mean, like
that already has me turned off.
it's interesting the names they have connected to this though.
Yeah.
I would agree. I'm not a super huge fan of Chelsea Handler, but
Who the crap is Hit Monkey, dude?
I don't know,
I
man.
had no idea.
Just the one image of him though on this Deadline article,
Yeah.
it looks kind of awesome. It makes me sad because I'm like, oh, does that mean we're never gonna get that live action MODOK we were hoping for?
No, man. This just sets the stage for MODOK, dude. Did I tell you last week about the Biggie Smalls MODOK?
No.
Somebody's making. Oh my gosh, dude. So, side note, it's like this MODOK Biggie Smalls gold like collector's piece that some guy is making. It looks freaking great. Anyways, look it up somewhere. Maybe if I find it, I'll put it on the show notes. But yeah, it's pretty great. Anyways, back to MODOK.
Yeah, MODOK.
Also, what makes me, I'm cool.
It's just crazy to think like these. it's the kind of properties that you're like, wait, we're actually developing those. We're like, something's happening with it.
Mm-hmm.
And with it being animation, I think there's a lot of possibility that you'd kind of be limited by in live action.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I think of like the success of stuff like Family Guy and American Dad and like all of these other grown-up animation. Is that a better way of saying it than adult animation?
Yeah.
Not for kids animation.
Yeah.
But what I didn't realize until
animation.
Sure.
TVMA.
In this Deadline article, it says that all 4 series will cross paths in the Marvel The Offenders special.
That's funny.
Which, dude, like this whole thing, like there's, I think I've always said, and I still stick by that, a level of self-awareness goes a long way.
Yeah.
And I think when you have something like this and you're like, guys, we're doing this and this is crazy and we're just going to have fun with it, I'm down. Mm-hmm. Like that actually feels better to me than like the F Batman, like kind of promotional stuff. I'm like, oh, you guys know this is kind of crazy. And to me, again, like when I saw the headline, I was like, there's no way. I'm like, what? They're just joking. I'm like, oh no, this is a real thing. So then,
I was kind of bummed it wasn't like a live action show of Howard the Duck from like Guardians. I was like, oh, that could be kind of fun. Seth Green.
I know Seth Green did the voice in
Dude, he can
Guardians
still
of the Galaxy.
do the voice for
He
this.
can still do it, and I think he'd be fantastic.
Acting. Yeah.
And he has a lot of experience in like the more mature animation.
Yeah,
stuff
Family Guy and stuff. So
and Robot Chicken
and oh gosh, bark, bark.
So good.
So
here's my question in this, Justin. This is all awesome.
Yeah,
but this seems like something that kind of blows the doors open. Like not just like the fact that it's going to be hopefully good in and of itself.
Yeah.
But what it means for setting a precedent for this kind of content to be made by Marvel for a platform like Hulu.
Yeah.
So for me, the question is, what would you want to see made? That's like some random thing that would be like, that's never going to get made.
Before I get into that, it seems like the same model of show that they lost when Donald Glover didn't do the Deadpool show.
Oh,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I can totally see
I wonder
that.
if this would be a good platform for it to come back. But it also kind of looks like they're not putting Spider-Man in this. They're going, here's some characters. They're on the fringe. I don't know who Hitmonkey is, dude. So
well, yeah, but I mean, we joke about live action MODOK, but I'm like,
yeah,
you'd have to do some pretty decent retconning and massaging to make that not seem completely laughable in live action.
So, but yeah, that being said, if I wanted to see a random Marvel property done in an animation, it looks like it has to be kind of quirky and man, I just don't have
You don't have like that knowledge of the.
Well, I don't have a Marvel character where I'm like, oh, I'd love to see their adventures, like, unless it was like kind of in the sense, actually, if they wanted to do an animated Hawkeye show based on the comic where he's just hanging out with Pizza Dog.
Yeah, I mean,
just do a show on Pizza Dog.
Pizza Dog.
Pizza Dog.
I mean, but he's getting a live action show though, right?
I don't think so.
No?
No, it's
no,
Falcon and Winter Soldier.
Yeah.
And
so I have one idea that
Yeah.
I feel like could be really fun, and I picture it in the vein of, like we mentioned earlier, John DiMaggio's Aquaman from The Brave and the Bold, Beta Ray Bill.
Oh, okay. That's a good idea.
Because no one really has any strong connections to who he's supposed to be. So you can make it, he's just like...
Cow Horse Thor.
Yeah, like it's just like such a weird concept.
Oh,
like,
dude,
why not?
That's good.
I'm trying to think what else. I know another like podcast we listen to. Like, there's a guy that's a super big fan of Man Thing. And he's
Man Thing.
And he's like, "This is the chance."
Oh, did he comment on this?
Yeah, they totally did. They're like, "This means that Man Thing can happen. It's coming."
Why not?
But that's the thing that this does. I think that's the most important thing about this news is that it brings up the question of why not. Like, it feels like anything's on the table now.
You know what would be cool is if they did do if they were gonna like almost have like parody of stuff. Like the one thing that I don't know if you ever watched it was the Mad TV show, not the sketch show, but they had an animated show that came out. and they would do some really funny stuff, poking fun. Like if you ever watched they had a JLA like joke, and they just dug deep on it.
What if this was the platform for the 80s Justice League International?
That would be awesome. Oh man, if
and it was like Real World style or like Big Brother or something like that.
That's so funny. That would actually be a really fun show. That's something that
that's a different company,
I don't care, but it opens up that idea of like, hey, if both companies want to try different things, because Marvel hasn't had a whole bunch of like success in animated shows.
True. I mean, DC seems a little ahead slightly in this. I mean, at least as far as we know.
I mean, that Harley Quinn
show coming up, and it seems like
fun.
that's a similar type of show.
Yeah. So, gosh, man, you got me spinning on that one. That would be amazing. Like it being a kind of, add a camera type of show. I think that could work.
Yeah, it would totally be like an Office like kind of thing, like Talking Heads and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, it makes me remember. We kind of
we talked about that. Was that last week?
No, but we were talking.
It was a recent episode.
Remember Powerless? That show, Powerless.
Oh man,
which was really terrible. But then it had
R.I.P.
It had some funny parts, like the Aquaman, who were all blonde. They were all from Atlantis, the ambassadors.
Yeah,
like they just had.
And Ron Funches.
Yeah, they had some good parts, but overall it was just really bad.
It was just not good.
Yeah. Anyways, this looks fun, man. Does it say when it's supposed to debut?
Not that I've seen. So it seems like they're getting started on it, and like there's been work done on it.
Mm-hmm.
But in my mind, that means we're looking at least like probably 2020.
Yeah.
2021 maybe.
Yeah, unless they've already been working on it.
Yeah, which is possible. I just know that animation can take
a minute. So
take a while.
One of the things with Hulu, because a lot of people are like, why don't they just put this on the DC? I mean, on the DC app. Don't put this on the DC app. Don't put the Marvel shows on it.
That's a bold move, Marvel.
Yeah. Why isn't this going to be on the Disney app that they're going to have? And because maybe they're trying to keep it clean. Probably a family-friendly type of app.
And we've speculated that before, that are they going to use a different platform for things like this? But that was in relation to saying, like, is it possible for the Netflix shows to find a new home?
Yeah. Well, with Hulu, since Fox and Disney both have some stakes there, Disney's going to have a lot of ownership in the Hulu app. So it could be a way for them to put their kind of more like adult stuff, like the freaking Runaways show. That's
Runaways.
Did they do season 2 yet?
They did season 2, and it's done pretty well.
Really?
From what I've read, like they're thinking season 3 is pretty good chance.
It was like a sleeper. Like I haven't checked out Cloak and Dagger either.
Yeah, I haven't checked that out, and I
haven't
haven't watched season 2 yet of Runaways.
Yeah,
but I did enjoy the first season.
So, anyways, this is good. I'm looking forward to it. Not looking forward to freaking Hit Monkey, but watch it.
Oh, really? The idea of it just sounds really zany and fun to me. Like I don't really care.
I don't know, man. Hit Monkey.
One way or the other, man. I just want to be entertained. Entertain me.
Yeah.
Here we are now.
I just want to see Howard the Duck fight.
Entertain us,
Dr. Bong. So that's cool. I don't want to go. I don't want to like say I'm not going to watch this because Chelsea Handler. She kind of annoys me, but there's other people that are working on the show that I do, think are good. So I don't want to just completely write it off. Like Last Man on Earth's funny, South Park, Grounded for Life. There's good people working on it. It's just Chelsea Handler.
Yeah, and I think it's an interesting concept because seems like the first time we've gotten something that has a regular kind of Marvel superhero teamed up with a mutant. Because that's kind of been off limits for the most part, right?
Yeah,
doing mutant stuff. So
yeah, well, in cinema.
In cinema,
yeah,
that's true.
In cartoons, they can do whatever they want. So, all right. It does add that little addendum that the deal of the original 4 shows includes a clause that prevents the characters from appearing in any non-Netflix series or film for at least 2 years after cancellation. A 5th show.
Oh, so we're talking about the Netflix stuff?
Yeah, yeah. So if people
are
like, they're going to host them on Hulu. So,
okay. They got a cool down period, basically.
I don't know if they can jump back into a series if they pick the series back up. Why not? I don't know. I'm just curious if it matters.
I mean, because this stuff isn't going to premiere for at least another year or 2.
Yeah.
And so that seems like that timing works out just fine if they did say like, hey, we're going to bring back, season 3 of The Punisher, or we're going to do a Daughters of the Dragon.
Yeah.
Heroes for Hire, which they should do.
Daughters of the Dragon would be awesome.
Heroes for Hire, bring in a new Iron Fist and Luke Cage.
I'm fine with Finn, whatever his name is. I don't care. I don't
Finn
want
Jones.
I don't want to recast, because did you watch the episode of Luke Cage he was in?
Yeah, it wasn't bad.
It wasn't bad. And then
it seems like it's more important like to see like who's making it rather than who the cast is.
Yeah. Oh, that just you talking about that bugs me because
Well, I'm sorry to bug you, Justin.
Yeah, man, because I wanted to see where Luke Cage's story was going to go.
That's true. I mean, they did kind of leave it in a way where it was like, what's they going to do?
That's an angle. So
it is an angle. It was not an angle I was super stoked on, but it is an angle.
At least maybe come up with do a Heroes for Hire show where you do get Power Man and Iron Fist, and you can do Daughters of the Dragon. Like they both can be like on that show. So
yeah, I feel like you can be a little more loose and fast with that universe and kind of tell all of those stories in fewer shows.
Yeah,
and they would help everybody.
That would be amazing. So, all right, I want to segue into Punisher, but I want to talk lastly about Jason Momoa.
Let's talk.
So Jason Momoa
as a person,
just as a person. All right.
Oh,
there you go. There's our update this week. So it sounds like I think like Warner Brothers is platforming this guy to be their Robert Downey Jr. in the sense that Robert Downey Jr. was kind of like the guy who is the face of the Marvel stuff, and they never really had that with like Affleck or Cavill or maybe with Gal Gadot, but like I just feel like Jason Momoa is just that party guy who's like, all right, I'm doing this. And so today on his Instagram, he has a story where
he's down for it, dude.
Yeah, he's like, whatever, dude. He's all, do I need to wear sleeves? No. All right. And so he did this story where he's at Warner Brothers Studios in Burbank, and he's just walking through the offices like, all right, I'm going to a meeting, and then next
all of a sudden the meeting's done.
Yeah, and he's like, whoa, screaming, and he's just like, oh, it's
he's got good stuff's on the way or something.
Good stuff's on the way, whatever, and just didn't he like just jump downstairs and rode in elevators and whatever, and so he's all excited. Who knows? People are like, Henry Cavill's back. It's always the Twitter's funny because anytime
the Snyder Cut is finally being released. Yes.
Anytime something like this happens, everyone they get their hopes up, and what I would say is don't get your hopes up for stuff that's not like in the periph. There are rumors floating out there right now. I don't want to address them in case they are spoilers, but there is
good job, Justin.
Yeah, there is stuff going on out there. Like who knows? But they did just say like Aquaman 2's a go. He could be excited about that.
He could be really excited about the Trench spinoff.
He could.
Like, man, I am stoked.
He's like, I don't have to be in that. All right.
All CGI, all the time. That's actually coming out next month.
Yeah, right there. We already filmed it. It's just going to be black the entire time and a lot of noises. Anyways, so he seemed really excited. People are speculating. So I want to speculate a little bit.
Let's do it.
I just think they probably were like kind of what I said. Maybe like, hey, man, Aquaman did great. We love your energy. We just want to build out the Aquaman universe a little bit with the Trench, and maybe we're going to do the Justice League of Atlantis.
Justice League of Atlantis.
JLA. We're going to reclaim Justice League.
JLA. So. Not the JLA you thought. Sorry, everybody.
No, I just think it's just fun to see a guy like that be excited about what he's doing.
Yeah, absolutely, man.
So,
I think it's going to be good.
Yeah, so
whatever he's excited about, cool.
Yeah, cool. I'm excited. You're excited, hopefully.
I feel zero pressure to figure out whatever it is.
We're going to give you a Lego Aquaman movie.
He's like, wow.
So everyone loved your character in Lego Movie 2.
Outrageous.
I didn't talk about Lego Movie 2, really. I haven't really had a platform. Just real quick.
You did. You totally spoiled it. You said that right. There's a Batman song.
It's so good.
Man, calm down. I haven't seen it yet.
Go watch it. It's so good. Lego Movie 2. All right.
All right.
They should have called it All Right.
That seems like a good choice.
Yeah. Okay, so we're done with that. We're going to jump into some other stuff. Okay, I want to talk about Punisher because we were talking about the Hulu shows and stuff. I finally finished season 2. Took me a little bit. It was weird. It was like one of those shows where like, man, okay, we just got to finish because it is 13 episodes again. Like for whatever reason, Daredevil and Punisher are getting the full 13 episode, seasons, and it does drag in some points and parts, but overall I really liked it.
Cool.
And there was some really good Punisher-y, like, violence and stuff.
I saw some Shooter Jennings action in the first episode. That's all I've seen so far.
Yeah,
and a really long extended sex sequence. Like,
oh, did you watch
that? Was
the first
like
one?
most of the first episode.
They don't call him the Punisher for nothing.
Hey, what exactly are you punishing there, sir?
Crime and
We'll just
So anyways,
so
I want to give my rating of the Punisher.
Do it.
So let's go.
All
Punisher
right.
season 2.
Was the first season of Let's Go for you?
I don't remember. I think it was. I didn't not like it. I think this one I like better. And so much it's going to segue into, like, later on that now I hear his voice as the Punisher.
Oh.
Yeah.
Wow.
I mean, I never really heard a voice as the Punisher when reading stuff. Like, there's
You never heard Thomas Jane?
Didn't? Yeah, Thomas Jane. So,
Dolph Lundgren?
isometrics.
You never heard the Punisher saying, "I will break you"?
Oh, well,
I'll break you.
That was Ivan Drago.
I know.
Oh, okay. I was like,
It's called a joke, Justin.
he's all
Gotta roll with the jokes.
He's all Rocky. Rocky 4 was a prequel to Punisher,
Oh,
and
man.
then he went to America for revenge. Ivan Drago is the Punisher, the Russian Punisher, the Russianer. So, jeez.
Rusher.
So, yeah, man. John Bernthal, he's just the Punisher, dude. He does a lot of that. It's great.
I do know you do have an affinity for people who talk like that. So
I do. I just feel like, hey, man, you don't slur as much as me, or you slur more. But it was good stuff. I want you to finish it, and then now I can focus on Young Justice.
Finally,
But I'm probably just gonna watch Doom Patrol, which is coming out.
Dang it, dude.
Yeah. No, I'm gonna.
Well, once you finish that one episode, you have
Yeah.
time for the other one.
You're totally right.
Young Justice episodes. There's
And-
seriously some key things that I am dying to talk to you about, dude.
And I want to freaking watch the Reign of the Superman.
Okay, so
Yeah.
I'm almost done with it. I'm a little over halfway with that, and I'm digging it.
Yeah.
That is all I'll say for now.
Yeah. I got a little bit of it. I watched a little bit with my son because we watched Death of Superman together, and so we were gonna watch Reign of the Superman. We just haven't had a moment. So, all right. So let's jump in. Matt, you ready for some floppies? Floppies. Come on and smell them floppies. Floppies. I'm gonna grab my coffee. There's our song right there.
There you go. Justin just
All right.
wrote a song
I just wrote a song about smelling floppies.
on the air.
Right there, live. Next week it'll be produced.
We'll do it live.
All right, so speaking of the Punisher and John Bernthal, I am in a weird spot where I'm loving a Punisher comic so much that
Why is that a weird spot?
Because it never was my thing, dude. Where I was like, and I mentioned it before, like the Punisher hasn't been like something I'm looking forward to reading, you know. But ever since they did the War Machine, it just piqued my interest for whatever reason. And Matthew Rosenberg's been writing this book ever since, and it's so good, dude. It's just good comic, and he's has Simon Kodransky is doing the art, and it's just a really good looking book, and it's interesting. And he's going up against Baron Zemo. And he's in prison in some country, and this latest issue, number 8, is a freaking gotta go of a comic book. It's bananas, dude. It's bananas. It's so good. Yeah,
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's like he's setting up, and he's got this crazy, like, not that crazy, just there's a nun in there who's trying to use him as her like vessel of revenge, and he's like getting everybody rallied to break out to do this like prison break and own the prison. Anyways, it's just fun comics, and Punisher number 8 is a gotta go.
Right.
I don't want to spoil
man.
too much of it. It's
Strong
just
words.
good. Yeah,
I look forward
you
to
gotta borrow these comics.
reading that run at some point in the future.
Yeah, you should. It's so fun, dude. Don't even watch Punisher season 2. Just read The Punisher issue 8.
I'll just go straight to it.
Yeah, or if you want to go Marvel Legacy, number 236.
Oh my gosh. Are they still listing those?
Yeah, they're still on there. Which is funny, they did it with Daredevil, even though they relaunched Daredevil again. It's like...
It's still the same legacy
number?
number?
6,
Wow.
18. Or
that's weird, man.
So, yeah, it's not... It's, same thing with like... I haven't read Amazing Spider-Man 15 yet, but it's all 816. So Spider-Man's at 816. So consecutive. Some people are like pushing back on that number because they folded Superior Spider-Man into that.
Yeah,
So,
I remember talking about that in that math.
Anyways,
wonky.
Yeah. So anyways, Punisher 8, gotta go.
Right on.
Yeah.
So I want to talk about a new comic this week. Wonder Twins, number one.
Wonder Twins number one.
Wonder Comics, the imprint from DC.
Yeah.
So we have Young Justice so far, right? Naomi, which was excellent.
Yeah.
And then now we have Wonder Twins number one.
There wasn't another one that came out?
Issue number 2 of Young Justice came out, but Dial H for Hero comes out next month.
Okay, that was the other one.
So written by Mark Russell, artist, also cover Stephen Byrne. I am not completely sure what to think of this comic. Just because it is so...
I like the Dust and Wind cover, by the way.
It's really good.
Yeah.
The shout out to that variant cover.
Yeah.
But man, talk about like a few minutes ago mentioning how far some self-awareness can go.
Yeah.
Wonder Twins is a goofy concept.
Oh, yeah.
It really is, right?
Yeah.
Because, Justin, maybe you know this better than I. Were they created for the Super Friends?
I think so. I don't know. I'm like, sounds
so
like
it's just a little goofy of an origin, right? And their powers are kind of like very specific and the butt of jokes for many years.
Yeah, I don't know if they even had an origin ever before. This is the most I've known. But they first did appear on the Super Friends show. Zan and Jaina. So they were the next sidekicks after they got rid of Marvin and Wendy. I just put them together. They're all Marvy. When they combined them together, they said not a good idea. But they've been in other things. They've been in Justice League Unlimited. They had like background characters and.
But that was their primary, what they're known for, right?
Yeah, but they were on Smallville too.
Super Friends. Oh gosh.
Yeah, so they definitely made themselves into like the comics in the 90s.
The broader DC universe.
Yeah, they were in Extreme Justice. It was like in the 1990s, mid 90s, where everything was extreme. They're like Justice League.
They're like shoulder pads and leg pouches.
Yeah, I don't know if they had them, but basically they were a part of the team. So.
So to talk about this issue, I don't know what to rate it. Like, it wasn't bad, but it also wasn't great. It was just so interesting. It made me laugh. So there's that. I think the art is really solid.
Oh yeah, it's beautiful. It's very like fun. It feels very fun.
Yes,
fun and clean.
Writing feels really natural and good, and it's such an interesting take. Like. All of the stuff that involving, the actual Wonder Twins. I'm blanking on their names again.
Zan and Jaina?
Yeah, Zan and Jaina is fine. But what really got to me was all of the content with the Justice League members and how funny it is. Like, making fun of the supercomputer or Aquaman.
They're like, yeah, we just use it for listening to music now.
Yeah. or Hawkman being there or... Like, I don't know,
so the best joke in the whole thing is like, hey, why do we all meet at the Hall of Justice? And they're like, well, we do this so that it's a dispatch center, so we don't send people to the wrong things because it's got Black Lightning there. He's like, you realize that I'm an electricity-based superhero, right? And do you by chance know that happens to electricity when it comes in contact with water?
The same thing that happens with everything when it comes into...
Oh gosh, they should have put that in there. And so it's all, well, pray tell... what is Aquaman up to?
Well, see, I like the cell before that, above that, where it's so we don't all respond to the same crime if we don't have to.
Yeah,
and it's the whole Justice League showing up to like a
robbery. Yeah, he's like, oh, come on,
like man. So there's that, but then there's also the sequence towards the end where Zane is talking about like how awkward he feels and how embarrassed he feels.
Yeah.
And Batman and Superman try to comfort him with their own embarrassing stories.
Yeah.
Which is fantastic.
Superman's is just kind of whatever.
Batman's is
good.
Incredible.
I was like, oh, he wasn't brooding in high school.
That he was known as BG for the rest of the year.
I was kind of hoping it would have been so much better if they like tied it into something like it was Rachel, like Rachel Dawes or something. Something stupid. Like Rachel. Like there was this girl I like, Rachel.
Yeah, just the tie-ins to that, like, and being able to see that side, because it seems like this is what this book is going to be about, right?
Yeah.
Kind of feeling awkward and on the fringes and left out.
Yeah.
And so doing that and saying like, hey, Batman and Superman actually felt that way too. I'm like, man, that's actually pretty great. And to have like Superman refer to him Wonder Woman say, come on, BG.
Yeah.
To Batman is pretty fantastic.
Yeah. Yeah, that was fun, dude. It was definitely a fun read. I loved the Thunderlust.
Oh gosh.
Oh, he became a man today. He's like, oh, really? It's so stupid.
And then somehow Supercomputer says his name backwards.
I think it tricked him. I mean, they're playing loose with the Mixiazpitlik, whatever, however you want to say it. I've heard different ways.
They played his recording backwards, which is technically him saying his name backwards, which you need to get. Oh, that's
right. Because she was like, hey, can you play anything back? They kind of set it up earlier in the story.
I love that he's like, wait, it's not supposed to work like that.
They're like, he's out. What's next? So
the fact that they're interns at the Hall of Justice is kind of funny.
Yeah.
So I don't know. The premise and the concept of this is really good, I think.
Yeah.
It's really fun. I think it sets it apart and gives it its own voice, which is good. Mm-hmm. Even amongst the other Wonder Comics books we've seen. This still feels like it has its own voice.
Yeah.
I've been impressed, man, so far with all of these for this imprint.
Yeah.
I would say this book is a let's go for me.
Okay. I was going to say let's go as well. Because it's just fun.
It's fun and it's kind of neutral for me until I get to the art, which is for me what pushes it past that.
Really?
Yeah, because even the writing... Yeah, okay. I like the art a lot. It's in a similar vein to what Gleason is doing on Young Justice and also what we're getting in Naomi, but it's its own thing still.
It doesn't feel like they're disjointed, you know?
Yeah, it doesn't feel like House DC style.
Well, yeah, and Jim Lee art, style wouldn't work with this.
No.
It needs to be expressive and fun and kind of light, and so yeah, they did a good job with that.
Yeah, man, I dig it. It was a fun book for sure.
Okay, I want to talk about Superman, and then I got trash juice.
All right, do it.
Ready? I know. So Superman 8.
I haven't caught up with it.
John Kent returns. I'm not gonna say too much. It's just more about.
Man.
So speaking of the whole like Wonder Comics, you have like Connell coming back with Young Justice. At the same time, Bendis is writing Superman, and we're dealing with a time travel Jonathan Kent comes back at 17. It goes away at 11, comes back at 17. His parents are pissed off.
So he's older than Connor Kent now.
Yeah, probably. Who knows how old Connor Kent is? Yeah,
right.
we don't know. We just don't know.
No.
Like all those guys.
Wait for next month's Young Justice #3.
Rebirthed. Let's do another thing. And so you get a little bit of his adventures in time. He's hanging out with his grandpa, and he meets up with some Green Lanterns. Like, hey, can you help take me home? Anyways, he's trying to tell his story of like what the heck happened, and then his journey, and it ends up with him coming across a alternate version universe of the Justice League. I don't want to spoil it, but maybe you know what that is. But it wasn't a bad story. It was just kind of, we're getting to that mode of, we're having different people illustrate stuff. You got like Yvonne Heiss doing a few pages, then you got like Brandon Peterson doing a little bit of the art, and you got Joe Prado doing some art, and so you just got different guys who kind of mesh as well. It's just that part is always hard for me in the storytelling. Like, I'd rather you almost delay a book than put it out like rushed. Like, we'll just have 3 different guys work on this thing.
Looking at you, Doomsday Clock.
Yeah, it got pushed back again. It felt like it was on schedule again. But then I'm like, oh, March isn't that bad. It's only like by a few weeks. So whatever, dude. It's where are we at? There's 12 issues. We're at
I don't even
8
remember.
now. 8. So
I don't remember, honestly.
we got like 3 issues. Who cares? Like, I'm enjoying the story. I don't know how it's supposed to catch up to Rebirth. You know, it's supposed to catch, like, people are like, well, let's just keep writing stories and throwing them in the middle of this. They're like, Tom King, can you freaking write a story that can fit in the middle between Heroes in Crisis and Doomsday Clock? He's like, sure, whatever.
Fix this for us.
Yeah. Anyway, so Superman 8, I feel like for a story that's supposed to explain a major character that we all love, it's a go. It's just a go, and it's kind of a bummer because I like where the story's going, but it's just they didn't plan well. Or maybe it's supposed to all connect together somehow. I don't know. It's like, Brian Bendis, what are you doing?
Because you're thinking of Connor Kent specifically. How does this all work together?
And you're thinking of Jonathan Kent. And you have two camps of people that love both characters. Like, I like both, but I'm like, can you have two Superboys?
I really like both characters as well. Like, I don't feel the need to choose between the two.
Yeah. And I don't want to, but at some point, there's going to be one Superman or Superboy or whatever. So,
yeah.
All right. So, I got to get the trash juice, dude. And I don't want to be trash juice. And this came out last week. And the Female Furies, #1, dude. I don't know, man.
I didn't read it, but I did see that Mitch Gerrits did the cover for it.
He did do the cover for it. And I'm going to tell you, dude. It's always hard. Again, I wrestle with it.
It's a pretty bold statement.
It's like saying, this is terrible. This was a terrible book. And my buddy Pete Vera, he was like, did you read Female Furies? I was like, no, I didn't. So I ended up reading it, and it is absolutely terrible. It is heavy.
Dude,
it's like,
it makes me sad to hear
it's
that.
the most heavy-handed thing I ever read in a long time.
Can you give us some idea of what that is?
It's definitely putting like Granny Goodness and the Female Furies as this like oppressed group of women on Apocalypse, and it's kind of painting this really terrible picture of Granny. I mean, they're all freaking terrible people.
She is supposed to be pretty horrible,
but like they're basically saying Darkseid used her physically, and she's been abused, and then like all the male counterparts are making the Female Furies prove themselves by like basically doing baking contests and evening gowns, smiling contests. Seriously.
Oh, seriously?
And
wow.
you're like this is stupid. This is so it's like you feel like
that's really interesting.
As not that it's a follow up, but after you just go through the Mr. Miracle book. And then you read this, you're like, this is...
Yeah, that's going to feel very different.
Garbage. And then the artwork's all over the place. Some of it's good. Some of it's just terrible. And I understand what they're trying to do. And especially, like, we live in, like, this, like, post, like, Me Too world. Mm-hmm. I don't think it works with the Female Furies. I feel like they've always been badass warriors. And I feel like it diminishes them. That they haven't always been badass. It makes it feel like, oh, they're only badass because they were pushed so far. Instead of them being like, dude, they are the worst of the worst in the meaning of like, they will mess you up from the get-go. I don't like what they're platforming. And, it's issue 1, so they may have some more. But it just feels bad, dude. It just didn't read well. And it's surprising because the writer Cecil Castellucci, hope I said that right. I like what she was doing. She did the Girl Eternity.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, and I didn't read all of it, but I read a few, and I was like, oh, this is kind of fun. And this book's just bad, man. And I don't know what else to say, but it's trash juice.
Man, that makes me sad.
Yeah, it is. It's a bummer. So hopefully it turns around. Hopefully there's a issue 2 like, oh, that was all a dream or something. I don't know. It was an Omega dream.
And it was all a dream.
There's a Flash going, Lois Lane, I'm too soon.
All right. Do you want to talk about Detective Comics 998? We've been talking about these as they've been coming out. As we get closer and closer, we are 2 issues away from Detective Comics 1000.
Detective Comics 1000. It's 80 years of Batman. Batman 89, 30 years anniversary, dude. All this cool Batman stuff that we're be doing this year. So yeah, Batman Detective Comics 998. And you were returning to the freaking Hellbat suit. That Gary Frank cover, dude. So good.
So where's the Hellbat suit from?
It was in the Snyder run. He had that when he had to go up against Justice League. I think he took it to...
Okay.
I also think it was in... I think Tomasi used it in... Correct me if I'm wrong, Internet. I think he used it in the Return of Damian Wayne when Batman goes to the Apocalypse to retrieve him. So...
all right.
Anywho,
he only uses it when everything else fails because that draws on...
Yeah, it draws on the power.
Metabolism and life force.
Yes, and it taps into like Superman and Wonder Woman and all this stuff.
Yeah, it basically kills him while he's using it.
Yeah.
For all practical purposes.
Yeah, kind of like Gotham Girl. And which is going on in the...
Oh, yeah.
I don't think it's connected at all, but it's kind of similar, like how her powers kill her. But yeah, it was cool. It was just he's going on this search for Jason Blood as well. So Jason Blood might have some answers for him, you know?
Yeah.
So he's just trying to fight this like manifestation of himself in a demonic form or whatever the heck it is, you know?
Yeah, the ending of that was really interesting to me. I was pretty confused, I'm not going to lie.
Yeah, and I like how it had him not hook up, that sounds weird. Hey. So with Cyborg's dad, Silas Stone, like at the end, he's like, oh.
Yeah, to meet up with him like that.
Like, you inspired me. You inspired some of my tech when I was younger. So, and then you kind of get this weird, like...
Yeah, like, what's going on?
Yeah, what the heck just happens? And you got a weird ending.
It is a weird ending.
You're like, what's going on? So we're kind of, we're traveling, again, through all of Bruce Wayne's mentors, people that impacted him, who he was. And yeah, it's Doug Mahnke. I just love his art so much. Peter J. Tomasi.
Yeah, it seems like a good lead up to Detective Comics 1000.
Yeah, we're building up to something fun. So
while we're talking about Tomasi, can I just say one random side note thing?
Yes.
Referring actually to something we already talked about.
Yeah.
As I'm watching
Punisher Season 2, great.
Yeah, right. As I'm watching the end of The Death of Superman on DC Universe app.
Oh, yeah.
Written by Pete Tomasi.
There you go.
I thought that was really interesting.
He's probably one of the best writers they have. Like, versatile.
That's all I'll say.
If you haven't read all of the stuff that he's put out in the last few years, his Green Lantern Corps, his Batman,
Superman run was excellent.
His Batman and Robin, like that run, he went from end of New 52 into Rebirth, I believe. I'm trying to remember.
Yeah, Rebirth. When Superman launched in Rebirth.
I was talking about like his Batman and Robin run though. He did that, and then when Robin died, he's just written some really good stuff, man.
Agreed.
So I think I fell off a little bit towards the end of New 52 because I know Carrie Kelly was coming into the book and befriending Damian, and then Damian dies, and then he has his dog. And
all right, so anyways. Detective Comics 998. What? Excuse me.
It's a let's go.
So let's go.
Yeah, it's a let's go for me. So definitely a good book. So we had to clean up, we had to jump out of that trash juice.
Yeah, jump right out of that.
And jump into
so
let's go.
One of the last ones I want to talk about. I also will say I got Gideon Falls number 11. I'm excited to read it. Thor number 10. It's probably one of my favorite covers of the week, I will say.
Oh, dang.
Just Thor and Odin enjoying a brew together on the edge of the Bifrost.
Much like us today.
It's a fun little... it's similar to what we're doing right now.
By Frosty today. Right?
By Frosty. The Batman Who Laughs. Scott Snyder, art by Jock. Continues to be really cool. I was not expecting to like this series, but I've been digging it. I think this is really interesting. I think Scott Snyder, it feels like it harkens back to that run of Detective Comics they did together years back.
Oh, it definitely does with the James Gordon Jr.
James Gordon Jr. brought back into that, but also just the I like it when a superhero, especially one like Batman, was put into a situation where I'm like, literally, how do we get out of this?
Yeah.
I don't understand and I don't see what it is. And that's really interesting to me. And that's what keeps me coming back to a story.
Yeah.
Not that everything has to be a twist or a turn to me, but when it is, and it's like, man, how do you get yourself out of this hole, dude?
Yeah.
That's really interesting to me. So I think for me, this issue, again, was a let's go. I think it's a good series.
How many issues is it?
This was the third one.
Out of 6, right?
So I think 6 is what it is. And then they're going to actually have some more stuff coming down the line after New Comic Book Day, because DC is calling it the year of the villain.
Oh, Free Comic Book Day.
Free Comic Book Day.
Yeah, New Comic Book Day. That's every Wednesday.
Free Comic Book Day. I apologize for the lack of clarity on that. Free Comic Book Day in May.
Is that going to kick off that DC stuff, do you think?
Don't think so.
No.
But it's going to have a story in that issue with Lex Luthor, one with the Batman Who Laughs, and one with Bane, because I think it's going to be like the City of Bane or something like that is what upcoming arc is going to be.
Was that in Batman?
They're highlighting some villains in 2019, which is interesting because they did that. They did like a month of villains a few years back with special covers and all of that stuff.
Yeah.
So I would say I can look up that.
Do it.
That info to make sure that we're clear on that. DC Comics declaring 2019 the year of the villain. So we have their 25-cent issue, not quite free, for Free Comic Book Day.
It's all, hey, these cost somebody.
So the book is going to have writers Scott Snyder, James Tynion, Brian Michael Bendis, artists like Alex Maleev, Jim Chung, and Francis Manapul. Greg Capullo will draw the main cover. It's the Year of the Villain #1, with variants by a few different people, including Francis Manapul. You're going to have a Lex Luthor story. Second story is the Batman Who Laughs, and begins, quote, the next phase of his story. So it looks like this limited series we have right now isn't the end we're going to see of him, which makes sense. He's a character. It seems like they really want to make sure they milk. The third of the stories is a follow-up to Leviathan Rising story in Action Comics. And then they're also teasing that it will lay seeds for City of Bane, which is a storyline in Tom King's Batman series that will pit the Dark Knight against Bane and an army of Gotham villains. So it's interesting. So, I mean, not that I'm thinking of that completely when I'm reading The Batman Who Laughs, because I'm kind of able to enjoy it for what it is. But I'm like, oh man, they want to keep going with stuff like this. And Snyder and Jock just seemed like the right team to do this. And I'm into it. I think it's really interesting.
Nice. Very cool.
So it's a let's go for me.
Do you think the Leviathan that they're alluding to is the same Leviathan from the Batman Incorporated stuff? Because that was Leviathan as well.
It was. I'm behind in both Superman and Action Comics.
Yeah.
And so I need to get to those issues to catch up to have, I think, an actual opinion on this.
Yeah.
I think that'd be interesting if it tied in somehow.
And it's like that. It ended up being a sect of the League of Assassins and stuff, but it was a criminal organization. So
that's right.
That Talia was leading, but I don't know if they're going to connect that.
This seems like Superman's Court of Owls, basically.
Oh, dang, dude. All right.
Which I'm down with that idea of like, wait, this has been happening this whole time and I don't know.
Yeah.
Especially for someone like Superman to not know.
They're like, I don't know why you didn't know, Superman.
Yeah. I mean, do you have any other floppies to smell, Justin?
I have not read Amazing Spider-Man 15 yet, but I'll tell you.
Can't believe they're 15 issues in already.
Remember, these are double shipping. I was trying to do the math.
Double
ship. I'm like, I'm only buying these 3 books, but like some of them come out twice a month. And I was like, Guardians of the Galaxy come out? Because I actually liked that Guardians book that I tried.
Oh, the new one.
Yeah.
Number 1.
Does that come out yet? No. And even I remember I bought New Mutants, or was it New Mutants, or was it X-Force? It was X-Force.
Oh, you got the new X-Force book too?
I got that new X-Force book.
Oh, interesting.
And it was whatevs. I didn't love it. It wasn't terrible, but I loved the cover. The cover was really fun.
The cover was really cool.
I was like, I'm going to try this, because with these Marvel books, they actually been really good, the ones that I've read, and I keep freaking hearing about how Venom. So I'm listening to the Comics Now cast, and like Brian on that show is like, Venom's his favorite book of the year.
Wow.
And I'm like, okay, I got to read it.
That is high praise.
Yeah, so I'm going to check it out on the Unlimited app because it's on there now. So, same with Thor. That you got to read Thor. Well,
it's so fun, man.
I can read it in the comfort of my bed.
It's so fun.
And so I'm just like, okay, fine. So if these guys are loving this book, I'm going to check them out. And so it kind of gives you a little less of a like a wariness of like, oh, am I going to get another book? But I would love to. I wish I heard like Spectacular Spider-Man's great. Or no, Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man. I heard that's good. But I don't need to buy another Spider-Man book because I'm kind of buying 3 because Miles Morales one comes out, which is a once a month. Thank you. And then, but then Amazing's twice. So that's literally 3 books. Yeah. 3 Spider-Man books. And so I kind of wish that some of these books that we buy weren't double shipping because it would free up the budget to throw something else in there.
Yeah, to try some new stuff.
So that's where I'm at.
Yeah, because I feel like that strain as well with the stuff I get and trying to pick like which ones do I not get so I can continue to get other ones and try new ones. Not because they're not good books, but because there's other things I'd like to make room for.
Yeah. I will say that this like cover to Amazing Spider-Man 15 is probably the cover of the week. No? Dude, look at that thing, dude. It's beautiful. It's a beautiful cover.
It's a good cover.
Matt gave me like the most disdain I've ever seen.
It wasn't disdain.
It was disdain.
It was disagreement. There's a difference.
I'm going to put it against the Thor cover. The Thor cover's fun, dude. But like, look at Spider-Man's even looking at that cover going, nah, man.
He's like, nah.
Don't at me, bro. Don't at me. Like, it's good. It's a good Thor cover, but I'm like, that's Spider-Man cover, dude. Look at that.
It's good. It's very classic. For me, it doesn't feel like anything out of like the ordinary. Be like, yeah, it's good. It's a good cover.
It's beautiful, dude. It's a beautiful cover.
It's a well done, well executed cover. I'll say that.
Yeah, dude. So Paulo Rivera just does amazing stuff.
Paulo Rivera, I do like Paulo Rivera a lot.
The Chris Bachalo art inside is so good too, and like it's got like Lizard. So Craven's in the picture. Lizard's in the picture. Lizard has lizardified his family because he needed to. And so, but they can't change back like he can. Oh man, there's some good stuff going on there.
That's cool, man.
That book, Spider-Man's been good.
That's so fun to hear.
Spider-Man's been good, man. Buy that Spider-Man book. So, all right, that's all I got, man.
Yeah, that's our show.
But I am gonna push the social media.
Oh, push,
especially the
push
Instagram.
away.
It's been fun. We've been putting some work in there,
guys. We got a really good grid going.
We got a nice grid.
Hey, nice grid.
Check out that grid. Like so today, which is Wednesday, we're recording Wednesday, and our way back Wednesday was the start of Image Comics.
Oh so, man, Youngblood #1.
Youngblood #1,
fondly.
Right? Yeah. So we asked kind of a question to engage and like, hey, what was your favorite Image book? And so we had someone say, oh, Wildcats is my favorite. I
actually liked that one a lot too.
Did you? Savage Dragon I thought was fun just because I liked Eric Larson.
Yeah,
it's funny.
I never got into that one as much.
It's random. Out of all the artists that people were like, Todd McFarlane, Jim Lee, Rob Liefeld. I was like, oh, I liked Eric Larson because I liked the Spider-Man book he was on.
Oh,
So when he jumped on to like Savage Dragon, just seemed funny, like this freaking dragon-looking cop. So, but it's not. I didn't follow it forever, but I kind of checked out here and there, and that was the one that like young preteen Justin was like, that looks great.
I can picture your voice being like that.
No,
did people speak up and say that Spawn was like their go-to?
Spawn? No, I didn't see.
McFarlane?
No
Spawn?
one said what it was. But anyways, that's up on there on Instagram. So we're trying to do something different every day, give you some engagements. So we'd love for you to communicate with us in there. So
yeah,
there you go. So follow that on Instagram at Let's Go Comic Show, and you can follow the show on Twitter as well at Let's Go Comic Show. You can go to our website at www.letsgopodcast.com where you can listen to this show and the Let's Go podcast and the Start Today podcast and another podcast. What if you're listening to this show in the future? You're like, what was going on in 2019? It's now currently 2022. And Henry Cavill's made 7 Superman movies. It's amazing. Right? So you're listening to the show. And
filmed 3 at a time.
Yeah.
It's so crazy.
He back to back. So they, who knows? There could be a new show on the network. But please leave us a review on the iTunes podcast store. That would be fantastic. And we'll read it here forever. It will be in the annals of time in the future when Bill and Ted bring peace to the universe through Station.
Be excellent to one another.
Yes, your review will be a hologram on the wall. So there you go. So please do that. That would be fantastic. That being said, fantastic. Be a fan. Be a Let's Go podcast fan. You can do so at Patreon. Go to patreon.com/Let's Go podcast, and then you can help support the show. It'd be fun. So Cindy, the intern, is working on some of that. She's doing work. Yeah, she does more work than I do.
Well, I mean,
right? I just come here like, yeah, we'll talk. Just talking.
I can talk.
Just doing some stuff. So yeah, she's gonna make that work, and so give her a shout out. There you go. She just watched Batman Returns as an adult. She posted on Twitter.
Oh wow.
She's been really inspired by us too. She's like,
we're inspiring someone
to watch Batman Returns. I love it. She's like,
stupid corn dog.
Stupid corn dog. Don't be a stupid corn dog, everybody. That being said, my name is Justin.
I'm Matt.
Let's go.
Let's go.